All right. Looks like this is working. How is everybody doing today so far on this wonderful Tuesday, August 9th, 2022? All right, that's enough of that. I love the song. That is by Stillface. They are obviously used with permission. But it's just a lot. It's a lot. So I'm kind of not going to play the whole thing there. But hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Life Coach Coast to Coast, and I am Eric Allen. I'm the Life Coach, and you are on the Coast to Coast. This is the show from The Life Coach. Obviously, you see that I changed the name on here a little bit ago. It is the Life Coach Twitch. There are a lot of changes that we're going to be doing to the program. It is going to pretty much be an evening stream, just FYI. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday. I'll do my best to keep that schedule. It seems like it's a good time for me to be doing this kind of work, and it's a good time for most people to be around. For my West Coasters, it is only 5 o'clock, and for my East Coasters, it's only 8 o'clock. So if you're tired and you're ready to go to bed, you can go to sleep to the soothing sounds of life coaching. We're going to be talking today, actually, about something that has come up a decent amount this week. And so that's kind of, I think, on Tuesday, what we're going to kind of wrap up and start is things that keep coming up for me the week before. So it's my catch-all, and I'm going to talk about things so that I don't have to keep telling everybody the same thing over and over again. And this week, it is about allergies, actually, and gluten allergies being one of the biggest ones that has come up. Also, just so you know, I am trying my best to see the chat in Twitch as well as YouTube. This is my first time dual streaming, so be kind, rewind if you have VHSs. Otherwise, just let me know somewhere in the chat. If I can see it, I will say something. If I can't see it, it means that I'm not ignoring you. It means I literally can't see the chat. So if somebody in Twitch wants to throw a chat in there so that I can see that show up there on that window, and somebody on YouTube, you want to put a chat in there, that would be helpful for me too, because it would be great if OBS would actually show everything that I want in one spot, but we know how OBS works. All right, so one of the things that has come up quite a bit for me in the allergy world working with clients is people not recognizing and realizing that alcohol actually has a lot of gluten in it. And so people are having allergic reactions, they're having skin issues, they're having joint issues, they're having pain, and they're having it, swelling and everything else after they're drinking alcohol, and they're not recognizing that that very likely could be because of an allergic reaction to the alcohol. Not just the fact that it's alcohol, which does cause swelling, but because a lot of alcohol actually has gluten. So, there, and by gluten, I mean like actual, like either wheat products or grain particles, particulate. Let's make it sound as gross as possible. So your alcohol has stuff in it, and that stuff comes from whatever the alcohol is made out of. So if it's beer, it's got the barley, it has the corn sugar, it has the grain sugar, and it has the hops. And that stuff all can cause an allergic reaction. Not to mention the pesticides and fungicides and all the other sprayed awesomeness that is in your food, which is now distilled into your drink. But also liquor itself has this sort of problem. Let's go to the overlay, see if I can... There we go. Okay. So there's beyondceliac.org, and they talk about how most alcoholic drinks do not contain gluten. So that's why I have to kind of clarify here. I'm just calling it gluten. It's kind of shorthand that it has that crap in it that is left over from the bread that it is distilled from. And beverages that may contain gluten, this is kind of funny because it says beer, bottled wine coolers. That's kind of weird. Pre-made coffee drinks, drink mixes, and commercial chocolate milk. So please don't make chocolate milk alcoholic beverages. That's kind of gross. But there's a lot of stuff that has gluten-free in terms of liquor. And those things can be like sake, rice wine, regular wine. It can be gin. It can be like a tequila. So there's a lot of options. And the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on people having a good time and say, oh, don't do anything fun, because then, your life sucks and you're not going to be able to do anything. But what I'm saying is there are ways to enjoy yourself and just check it out. Just let me know if you have a better experience using one of those options instead of your brown liquors, rum, whiskey. Some vodkas are, a lot of vodkas wheat-based. So if it's not Tito's or something that is quintuple filtered, just try the difference. Try it out. See what's going on. It's a good excuse. You could say, the life coach online said that I have to drink this weekend so that I could test out the difference in my alcohol. But I'm interested to see what your thoughts are on that, because it really could be that you're having an allergic reaction, or at least an inflammatory response to what you're drinking. So that's kind of the public service announcement for today in terms of booze. And that's the more you know. Actually, to cue that up, it's been a long time. So I was like, yeah, I'll put it up there. I'll do the more you know. All right, so let's do some housekeeping. Let's talk about some stuff that's happening in the upcoming weeks. I am going to be trying to do more academic type things. So this book, obviously, we talked about this last time. Conformity, Complicity, and the Science of Why We Make Bad Decisions, Collective Illusions by Todd Rose. I decided I'm going to try not to be such a jerk about this book, even though I find it offensively ignorant. And by that I mean that it is impossible for somebody who wrote this book to be so unaware of themselves that they just continually assume things that are bad. I mean, they're just stupid. The guy makes really stupid assumptions about things and he's just not self-aware. It's very offensive. I'm trying not to be a jerk, though, because I'd love to reach out to Todd Rose, who apparently is a doctor, and find out what his deal is. And if he is willing to come onto a show and discuss these ideas and have some sort of scrutiny and still handle himself well, and be open to the possibility that he has a blind spot, even though he's so smart. He wrote this book about how we're all so dumb. I guess that's the other thing that irks me, right? Like, I don't care. I don't care. You can write a book about whatever you want. If you're an expert on something, go ahead and be an expert. I have a deck of cards somewhere over there that I used to use in back in the 2020 days, and it just had wine facts. I don't know anything about wine, so read the wine facts, and it just would be a fun little time waster for people that if I needed to kill time and I needed to fill up some space, I would just talk about wine facts. I don't care. Write a book about whatever, be an expert in whatever you want. But don't come in here and write this book about how we're all so dumb and we make these bad decisions, and then you just have this gigantic blind spot to your own biases. Hypocrisy drives me nuts. I think hypocrisy drives me more crazy than stupidity, because at least if you're consistently dumb, I'm good. I get it, and I'm cool with you being consistently dumb. So yes, I'm sorry, Todd. I will try to be more fair, and if he is on the show, I really will be respectful, and I'm going to try to be fair and ask questions, some softball questions and some not so softball questions. But that being said, there are some pretty big announcements that I have coming up for not just this channel or for the business, for Holistic Life Consultants, but also for my professional career. So there's some things going on, and that will also be really good for our streams, because I'll be able to bring you a lot of fresh, new research and new information that hopefully you'll find interesting. In the meantime, as always, this is something that we kind of had going for a long time. Feel free to email me. You can email me, Eric Allen at holisticlifeconsultants.com. You can DM me on Twitch here. You can send me messages on Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the internet. So right now it's Holistic Life Consultants on Facebook. Everything else is The Life Coach. So if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you found me. It's The Life Coach. Hopefully with more live streams and more videos, we're going to be able to put ourselves out there more and be the life coach that comes up as soon as you type in The Life Coach. Because right now, I think you have to type in Holistic Life Consultants for that to pop up, which is better than it was before. Before I didn't exist at all. So we're going to be continuing to create content and post videos and do live streams. I'll do my best to be consistent about that so that we can at least get up there in the algorithm. And if you type in the life coach, I think right now what comes up is like the Life Coach Institute or the Life Coach College, just some crap like that, with a bunch of people that have videos that look like, and again, no offense, I'm really big on independent creators and doing your own thing, but they look like they're videos from the 90s. And, you know, I like the 90s. That was a good time period. So it's okay. But I'd like to be the number one result when you actually type in the name of my channel. So you can always send me a message. You can ask me questions and things like that. The topics of the week are always going to be segmented out. This Thursday, actually, we are going to have a financial expert who I'm going to hopefully ask a bunch of questions to, and we'll have good answers for you on your financial health and wellness. You know, how to save and what to do with savings and like what's a fair amount of money to put away. And so hopefully you'll have some questions for him. If you want to have questions ready for him that I can send him ahead of time, again, feel free to hit me up on the social media platform of your choice. Otherwise, you know, in the live chat, you can do that too. So that is coming up this Thursday. Tomorrow is going to be more of the parenting and relationship coaching stuff. Today is more the health, wellness, and the individual development kind of stuff. So I don't have a ton of things queued up. Like I don't have a ton of websites or anything. This was honestly more just to test out if the YouTube streaming is working, which it is, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I wasn't working at all for a while. I was trying to stream and it just wasn't working. I don't know if there was like a storm system that hit or whatever, but it just wasn't working. So also mic check, sound check. If you, Darko, thank you for giving me the heads up on, he sent me a message. It was really kind of funny because I was thinking about him and his red devil sauce. And then he sent me a message about me live streaming again. I was like, hey, what's going on? So just so you know, I'm checking my mic levels and everything. I don't have the other camera's microphone ready to go. Let me see. I'll do the whiteboard cam. So my whiteboard camera is glitching, and it's really weird. And I don't know how I feel about that. So that's a thing. But, you know, that's one of the things I'm going to have to figure out. So that's some of the testing of the equipment. I definitely need new gear, I got to say. This is kind of cobbled together over the last, I don't know how many years. But it worked pretty well when I was only doing a Dr. Ocelatopus camera. And that was it. But now it's kind of getting to be a bit of a dinosaur. And things are glitchy and they're not working entirely properly. Even I'm amazed that the lighting levels are working the way they are, because if you saw from my perspective, my entire studio is so dark, but when I try to put on the overhead light, it whitewashed my face so much. It was like literally like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like I looked like the aliens from Cocoon after they opened them up or something. Like my face was just like this bright flashing white, and that was pretty brutal. So this is better. It looks much more normal now. I mean, I'm wearing a black shirt, so there's kind of no contrast to the background. But yeah, so those are the sound tests, the other tests. Hello, Miss Nick. You're messaging me on Twitch, I assume. And I'm not seeing the chat on Twitch, which is a little concerning, but I'm seeing it on OBS. If anybody's on YouTube and you can post something in the chat, that would be good for me to see too, because I really want to see if OBS is able to manage that. Although I can see top chat in YouTube and I can't see chat at all in Twitch. Just a little bit of a bummer. Manager sub. Maybe if I just maximize it. No, it's not showing the chat at all. Huh. Okay, yes, you're on Twitch. All right, so I don't need to have Twitch up, I suppose. So I'll just keep the YouTube chat open. And then if somebody is trying to chat on YouTube, then I can see it. So I'll put something in there too. Hello. Just to see if it shows up on OBS. All right, it is not. So I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to keep the chat open on YouTube so you guys can see it. All right, so if you guys have any questions in particular today about what's going on in your life, career building, anything related to college, related to like getting into a different position, well, let's not get dirty. It is an evening show, but it's not that late. I don't think I can say certain things. I'd have to be on after midnight, and I'm not doing that right now. So yeah, but let me know about different titles or different ways that you're looking to improve yourself, or just things that you have questions about in general. That's what today is for. What was I going to put in here also? Oh, allergies in 2022. There is... Yes. All right. So let me just share this with you guys. You're not imagining it. Seasonal allergies are worse this year. School of Medicine's Fred Little on reasons for the spike and what you can do about it. So this article talks about how it's worse this year. Allergies are worse this year. So if you feel like, man, my kids are sneezing more, I'm sneezing more, the dog is sneezing more, the dog sneezes or sneezing more. If you think that there's just stuff going on, you're right. This has been specifically bad in the Northeast. Boston University School of Medicine is on top of it. And Fred Little is the man on the job. Fred Little talks about how it's worse than normal, and it's people are in the environment and it's getting bad. And so why have seasonal allergies been bad this year? So the first thing is people are wearing masks a lot less compared to the last couple of allergy seasons, aka we all were dumb and we were outside with masks on, so we were not getting exposed to regular allergens. So now we're all more sensitive to things that we have, quote unquote, protected ourselves from. That's the first thing that he said. And people who are allergic to grass pollen started having symptoms earlier than before. Then he gets a little conspiratorial, says it's related to climate change. Not sure how this person who studies medicine knows that, but okay, I'll give him that. He's saying climate, like a warm, wet spring that helps plants grow. He even says, I'm not a climate scientist, so I can't get into the nitty-gritty science. But certainly over the last 20 years, there have been longer pollen seasons throughout the temperate climates of the United States. So good on you, Fred Little, for admitting that you don't know for sure what you're talking about. But warmth is a factor. And so he says it's been warmer. That makes the pollen season longer. And then one interesting tidbit. I love the word tidbit. Pine pollen, the yellow pollen that you see on cars and in storm drains, is not actually as allergic as pollen that comes from the deciduous or leafy trees like birch, maple, and oak. I didn't know that. I hate that yellow crap on everything. It's gross. People may have a perception that the pollen levels are terrible because they see yellow stuff all over the place, but that doesn't necessarily correlate with the pollen that is most allergenic. That's the invisible pollen. The lethal invisible pollen. I don't think it's a bad sign that there's more pollen. I think that you could probably correlate the two. So yeah, tree pollen, which is my arch nemesis, but pine pollen apparently is not as bad as leafy deciduous pollen. So what can you do about it? So it's hard to do anything about it because it's, the air. You're allergic to life. Congratulations. Like me. So keep windows closed during the night and day and use air conditioners. So lock yourself in, kids. Just make that room a refrigerator, airtight, and just don't breathe outside. For people with really bad allergies, they may want to change out of their outside clothes when they come inside and wash them as soon as possible. One thing that I know has worked for me is washing your face. If you wash your face multiple times a day on those really bad pollen days, that does help a lot. Then he talks about allergy medications. And there are medications that people can get used to. So like Afrin, which I don't know what that is, but sounds gross. You have a really bad cold, you put a few squirts and you breathe better, but you shouldn't use it for more than 3 days at a time. After that, there could be a rebound effect where the nasal tissue themselves become accustomed to the spray and almost depend on it, which is one of the things I say about drugs all the time. Eventually, you're going to get dependent on it. So use mainstay treatment, nasal steroid sprays like Flonase or Rhincourt. I don't know about steroids. Then you start beating people up with your nose. It starts to get really jacked. And tree pollen, blah, blah, blah. Nasal sprays start mid-March. That sounds fun. And then there's things like antihistamines, like a Zyrtec. And there are many patients with mild hay fever symptoms who do fine with just taking Zyrtec. I don't know who these people are who take Zyrtec and it works. That stuff might work like once a year for me, like one day. I mean, like a day. But apparently, that's something you can do. And then, of course, there's the thing. How do you tell the difference between COVID-19 and allergies? You don't. So thank you, Fred Little. Thank you. All right, so that's kind of the allergy stuff that I wanted to put out there because I think that's important for people to know. And I think it's good to kind of just see like what it is that you can do about it, what it is that you can prevent if you want to not feel like absolute garbage. It's tough, but you're not crazy. That's the best news here. Well, maybe you're crazy, but that's not why you're crazy. You actually are correct. There is a significantly higher amount of pollen this year. So I don't know, bundle up, wash your face, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husbands because they be pollinating everybody up in here. Anyway, those are the two kind of articles that I wanted to do today. Again, I'm very happy to be back on here. There's some stuff that I have to fix. I have to fix the camera. I have to fix some of the lighting and the dry erase board. But I always appreciate constructive criticism, comments, questions, things that I should be doing for next week. I'm going to be playing a little bit more music for you from Stillface, and then we're going to head on out of here if nobody has any questions. And I see that I'm redlining, which I'm going to try to turn it down a little bit, but hopefully the mic levels were better than last time. Darko, you can let me know. And otherwise, you guys have a great Tuesday evening. I will be back on here 8 p.m., God willing, Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be doing a little bit more of this book. We're going to be going over that as well as some more parent coaching and relationship-related topics. All right, so here we go. 6 Again by Stillface.